All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Star Trek Svalinn, the show where everything is made up and the plot doesn't matter. That's right, the plot is just like the COVID vaccine and against Borg nanites. Doesn't really do much against it. You need to talk to your doctor if you're infected with Borg, or your nearest security officer. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
What do we do if we infect our nearest security officer? Then what?
Yeah, that's someone else's problem at that point.
A little nervous that he's talking about Borg right out of the gate. He doesn't have enough threat for that, does he?
I don't have enough threat, but if it's part of the plot, I can throw him in.
Another day at the holodeck, he'll have plenty of threat.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Although we are going to get repercussions from that. That should be fun.
Gonna be repercussions. Uh-oh.
Does Calder have a bunch of reports on his desk?
I mean, whenever Captain steps away, there's gonna be a bunch of reports on the desk.
Why is there so much paperwork? The brochure only said there were gonna be a few.
Oops, someone lied.
A recruiter lie? No.
Well, I didn't file a report, just so you know.
Join Starfleet. See the stars, they said.
The only time we get to see stars is when I slam my head against the desk because of the amount of paperwork I have to do.
Meet new species, they said.
Oh, God.
I'm trapped in a sentient cave.
Go where no man has gone before, they said.
I'm inside a Dyson sphere and I don't know how to get out.
Demotivational posters.
You will experience the experiences of a lifetime, they said.
The experience of getting beaten down by a Klingon.
I mean, that generally is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, because generally you don't live if a Klingon actually he starts attacking you. All right. Just start our episode. This is gonna be 4 or 5 days after the events of last episode. And Calder, you're going to be on the Certania rendezvousing with the ship. So we'll bring you in after the first scene.
Did anybody tell him about the nacelle?
About the nacelle?
Yeah, the
What
missing
happened
one?
to them still?
Nothing, never mind. Forget it. Didn't happen.
Guess we'll find out. So we will start an episode with Lieutenant Commander Ross giving a log. And whenever you are ready.
I'm trying to find the Stardate here. Did you post that?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Yep, just scroll up.
Stardate 55718.9. The Svalinn is en route to pick up the captain after his diplomatic mission with the Certania. we had just dealt with a nasty group of Nausicaan pirates and either killed or captured a bunch of them, and hopefully gained some valuable intelligence, which we're looking into at the moment. And Captain's runabout has just showed up on sensors, so he should be here pretty soon.
Excellent. And moving on to the Silk Road map. Rampart is still being repaired at Deep Space Certania. The repairs have slowed down a little bit because Deep Space Certania is also hosting the Midnight Watch Symposium. The Midnight Watch is a civilian and Terran group of people who want to promote psionic and psionic abilities in humans and other non-racially psionic people. There was a little tiff with them about 6 months ago involving the Cowcat, but they've recently fallen into good graces with Starfleet, and this is a show of good faith to have a symposium with the Grade A psionics around and a formal embassy for the Midnight Watch on Deep Space Certania. The expedition is tracking down rogue Trill symbiotes that were stolen from the Trill Symposium and are basically being smuggled out and implanted in people who have not cleared the rigorous training that a droid Trill normally needs. So the expedition is way up north near the core worlds at this point. The Tenchi, all the way over here. Thought I had a token for them. Is on their way around on the Ebon Expanse, and they are working to make formal first contact with two members or species, the Kali and the host Khan. Apparently these two races are in some sort of alliance with each other, and we've met representative members of each one, and now they're on their way to go to the actual home world and make formalized first contact with them. So far they are amenable, but very different, as all first contacts has been. Commander Calder has been on the Certania colony world for the past couple weeks. 2 weeks. Some of that was taken up with long, boring meetings and ceremonies and debate to talk about formally inviting the Certania colony in as a member world and setting up a trade agreement for our thallium, mineral needed in the construction of life support systems. So, all your social graces are kind of done at this point, Aunt Calder. You didn't sign up to be a diplomat, I imagine.
I'm doing a lot of the things as a commander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been noted.
Slowly turning to the fourth wall.
Slowly turning to the fourth wall. It's in the works. Just the paperwork, has to go by the Admiralty. Meanwhile, we do cold open as we pan into the ship. Dr. Bog, you have a crew member in your sick bay Petty Officer Hamilton, who is getting a minor reconstructive ear surgery after he got into an altercation with one of the Nausicaan prisoners. Apparently, this Nausicaan prisoner bit his ear in the altercation and severely damaged it. And Ross is in the room taking a report from that.
So he bit your ear?
Yeah, it was crazy. He pinned me to the ground and just full on bit my ear. Ow, ow. As you're working on him, he's kind of tugging away from your laser lights.
Think you'd be able to point him out so we can space him?
I mean, they all look the same, but I suppose if we're down there, I could possibly pick him out.
I hope you're kidding.
Maybe.
I hope you were kidding too.
The doctor
Maybe.
looks uncomfortable about that a little bit.
I'll just wink at Dr. Bod.
Okay. You see the tension go out in his shoulders.
Sadly, this is just a string of minor injuries that have been inflicted on the security crew members throughout the week. Broken hands, someone had a cracked rib, broken orbital socket, but the ear has been the most humorous, if you could say that.
All right, is it completely off?
It's not completely off, and it's mostly cosmetic.
Okay. Crewman's pretty jumpy, is he?
Huh? Yeah, he's a little jumpy with you looking at it and touching it. Either he's in pain or he just doesn't like his ears being touched.
All right, you need to settle down, or I'm going to sew this ear on upside down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a presence medicine difficulty 2 to see if you can actually talk him down.
No complication or anything, right?
No complication.
Would counseling give me a focus there? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give you a threat for bold medicine. Ooh, that's a good thing. Oh, that's how it's going to be today, huh?
Oh no.
You got a nurse over here?
Yep.
Apparently he doesn't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, he is actually kind of worried about. Wait, so is that a possibility?
No, it's not a possibility. I'm not going to sew your ear on upside down. Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
It's crooked, though.
I look at and say, not helping.
And look at him straight on. There are different levels now.
Oh, he's yeah. The crewman's ends now like, wait, what?
Crewman, everybody's ears are not exactly aligned. Now sit still so I can get this done.
Okay.
Carry on, Doc.
And he finally manages to sit still. Yeah, it's fairly easy surgery, control medicine, diff 1.
Okay. What was you said? Controls? What did you say?
Control medicine, difficulty 1, and I don't suppose you need the ship to assist, but I mean, you could definitely reference the ship's computers.
That's all right. We'll give you another threat for bold here. See if we can get this done this time.
All right.
There we go. Get him stowed up and give him the instructions on it. And I'm going to discharge him. Go to my console and access the food replicator system.
Okay.
And who was it that was talking to us? That was Commander Frost, right? Or Roast?
Rost.
Yeah, Rost.
Rost. I'm going to access the food replicator system and just add a little something special in Lieutenant Commander's next menu choice. Basically tell the replicator that when he accesses it to add a laxative.
I love it.
I'm just kidding, of course, but just know that's the kind of evil that I'll do.
I mean, if you want to do this, we could totally make a dice roll.
No, I don't want to do that because it would be just my luck that we'd be in the middle of a mess and he'd really have a mess.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
30 threat when he decides to use that.
Anyway, listen, I do apologize, but my head is just throbbing, so I'm gonna bounce on that one.
Well, thanks for that little scene. I at least had. I thought it was funny that Nausicaan Mike Tyson someone. I'm like, that'll be a cool opening scene.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to get up and go take about 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, see if we can't get this knocked out. So,
Good luck, Doc.
thanks. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
All right. It was in the middle of all that at Ross after you leave sick bay that the bridge hails you and says that the Sleipnir is coming into dock.
I'll head down to the hangar deck and greet the captain when he arrives.
All right. Captain, you've been on board the Sleipnir for the better part of 3 days now. Ensign Melanie Magnus and I believe it was Ensign Diaba have been accompanying you. Diaba has been very cold, not really social. But just kind of keeping an eye on everything, and she's reading intently from her pad. And Magnus has spent the time trying to ask you questions and kind of asking you questions and about Starfleet and protocol and did you know this officer and this kind of stuff, and kind of badgering you for information the entire way. And with that, the Sleipnir finally he docks in, and the landing feet go down, and Magnus is going, well, that was a fun adventure, wasn't it? As the hatch opens up. And for some reason, I have a bunch of missing face icons. Commander Calder?
Hello?
Hello. Yes, as you just talked with the Svalinn and are disembarking.
Okay, I get out.
And Lieutenant Commander Ross is there to greet you.
Welcome back, Commander. How was the trip?
It was fine. If you count drowning in Federation bureaucracy, fine.
Were you able to secure a peace treaty?
Yeah.
Well, we had fun while you were gone. Ran into a few Nausicaan pirates and minor injury on the holodeck, but other than that, it's pretty uneventful.
Well, this ship usually deals with a lot of Nausicaan since it deployed after the Dominion War.
And we destroyed one of their heavier ships, captured a few. We have a bunch of prisoners down in the brig. We were able to recover a couple of computer cores, and we're looking at those for intelligence data right now. You want to get out the old lead pipe and interrogate them, or maybe hold them out an airlock or something like that?
We shouldn't be that harsh against them, but I mean,
Yeah, it's not like they're Cardassians.
and also, well, more that the Federation doesn't really allow interrogation.
It allows interrogation, doesn't allow alternate interrogation methods.
Okay, let me rephrase.
Enhanced
Only one
interrogation?
Yes. Keel hauling is generally frowned upon.
Sticking body parts into vacuums, not so much.
All right, as you're walking through the ship, Commander Calder, where would you be going after a long trip? Would you be heading to your ready room, quarters, straight to the bridge?
Quarters, and hope that there isn't a ton of reports on my table.
You made it to the captain's quarters. Okay, I messed up a setting in the game. Have to fix that. Make it to the captain's quarters, and everything is right where you left it. You turn on your computer. There are a few reports that have. There's a few reports that are commander's eyes only, dealing with at high level threats in the area and that kind of stuff. We also received a bullet list on the Silk World Initiative and the plans starting next stellar year. So
there's also a ship-wide broadcast.
I was getting there.
Okay.
The bullet points on there, and then there is a ship-wide broadcast as pending on your computer. It seems to indicate that this was recorded previously and just waiting for you to open up and view it if you would like.
I would like to view it, and after I view it, I gotta dip for a hot minute to order food.
Okay. Yep, you open in the file, and it appears to be a hollow broadcast as from the holodeck involving two of your officers. There's having a Mario style race through the holodeck involving rocket boots and wings. And also shown that some of the senior officers were modifying the program to add obstacles to it.
I see. I will figure something out. I went back.
Okay. Yeah, Captain's just fuming over that right now. In the meantime, we have some computer cores to look at. So, you have two computer cores from two different ships, red ship and blue ship, very creatively named. What information would we be mining from these?
We're looking for ships that they attacked, what happened to those ships, where their base of operations is, the extent of their operation, how many ships, who's leading it.
Who's on first? That kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
Okay. You can definitely pull the flight logs, and I will take us back to the Silk Road map. And get the paintbrush, because this is kind of fun. What's a good color? It'll be orange, because Nausicaans are kind of orangey. The flight path. Tokens it out. Cool. The flight path of this particular ship seems to be all over the place, as it goes here, and then ooh, this is kind of cool. And then it kind of goes over here, and then it goes back, and kind of swings around here. Did I drag the players? Yep. I dragged the players on. Nerp, nerp. And nerp. Yeah, it kind of swings back and forth. It kind of stays in this general area. They don't seem to get it too close to the nebula, because that's just a pop ball of gas. Does spend some time in Beta Pavonis. It takes some hits along this corridor here, swings back, comes around. And that's just his flight path over the past 6 weeks. It has been a very busy beaver. The other ship shows a very similar air flight path. Sometimes different points, sometimes the same data points. It
Does it
reaches
seem
all
to
the...
have stopped in a particular area to start, or to continuously go back to the same system or anything?
It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, there's definitely not like one system or even one sector of space that it seems to repeatedly go to, besides this flight corridor from Jovan to Safe. But Maldone, if you would like to do some navigation analysis on this.
Absolutely. What am I rolling here?
Reason Con.
Reason Con.
We're looking at an advantage, but this data is kind of a mess. So, difficulty 4. I don't really see you need to bump the complication, and you can have the computer's con help out. Just to kind of, and this represents you kind of looking over the data and just making sense of this spaghetti western that is thrown on us.
Would like to buy 2 dice. First one with threat, second one with momentum.
Absolutely. Whoops.
Location and reason. Con. Oh, okay.
And computer cons help. All right, so that is 4, 5, so 3 momentum on top. Excellent. Takes you a little bit because this looks random, and basically what it looks like is that they're cruising along and then either they get orders to go somewhere or they find something interesting and they go after it. This is kind of indicative of pirates. They don't really have real stable courses because, hey, shiny, I'm gonna go loot. But you do see this parabellum. No, that's not the right word. This perigee of their orbits. They seem to go in, out. And while they never get within 5 light years of it, they seem to be all centered around the Shatari Nebula. They get within 5 light years of it, stop, and then they turn around. And it seems after they spend some time on the trade route, they stop, turn around, go within 5 light years of the nebula, and then they go back out again.
Lieutenant L, can you check their sensor logs to see if there's a ship coming out of the nebula that they're rendezvousing with?
I can definitely do a sensor scan.
It wouldn't be a sensor scan. You'd be going over their air logs, but it would be the same role.
That's fine.
Reason science, difficulty 4. You are going over a lot of data, and computer science.
Research focus.
Yep.
All right, let me get 2 extra dice. Oh hell. Let's do it with. Actually, let's just do 3. Let's do 3 dice with threat.
Okay.
And I've got the medal to let me roll the challenge dice on it.
All right, so you're dumping 6 threat and seeing how much I get.
Yeah.
I only get 5. But you do get to roll all those dice now. And 2 more momentum gained. As far as the sensor scans go, about 25% of these course diversions correlate with a sensor scan of a civilian vessel. As they move towards the Shatari Nebula, they seem to be going at a lower warp velocity, and their sensors indicate that they are towing a vessel, and they drop off a ship in the middle of nowhere. But at the edge of the sensors, you do see another ship approaching them from the same vector as the Shatari Nebula. So
Well done, gentlemen.
So essentially, they're doing cold drops in the middle of space, and they're coordinating this operation enough so they can just drop it in the middle of nowhere, and then a ship comes from the nebula and picks them up. And you're just barely able to see the incoming ship at the edge of their sensors.
Excellent work. I'll talk to the captain and see if we go take a look in the nebula, see what's lurking about there. And I'll go to the commander's quarters, or is he in his ready room? Did you say one or the other?
He's in his quarters right now.
I'll head down to his quarters and ring the chime.
He is unavailable at the moment, so I have to pull some shenanigans.
No, you don't.
I was gonna spend thread and everything.
No
All right.
shenanigans for you.
You make it to the captain's quarters with this report, and Captain, you just finished watching this Mario Kart art fight from the holodeck.
I would add that it's not regular Mario Kart, okay? It's flying. It's like flying.
It's flying Mario
Kart.
Kart. Yep.
So like fractions of Mario Kart 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move the screen 180 and say looked like everyone was busy while I was gone.
That was a wonderful morale event, sir. You should have been here. It did wonders for everybody's moods.
I could assume.
Calder, your insight command. I'm assuming, Ross, you are leaving out the part of the injury, right?
I did mention it when he came on board.
You did mention the holodeck injury. Okay.
A mention.
Yeah, Calder, give me insight command difficulty 2.
I'm going to spend a momentum for a third dice. Would forensics or leadership work as a focus?
Forensics at increased complication, leadership flat.
Okay, then leadership.
Spending momentum on your first officer? I'm hurt.
Would you rather me spend threat?
I guess not.
Nothing bad happens with threat.
We get to 18 already.
All right. Yeah, you can tell that he's not lying, and he's spinning. He's technically did tell you about the holodeck injury, and he's kind of leaving it in the air for you to put 2 and 2 together that the holodeck injury was caused by this event.
Some irrational exuberance on the part of the officers involved.
Not the weirdest thing to happen in a holodeck.
This is true.
So I guess, Commander, next question is, are we get to RP come to Kayla's talk, or are you just gonna let this slide?
Could have let this slide, because if it's only just the only people harmed with the people in the holodeck, and no kind of like bystander or any damages to the ship itself.
Yeah, it was just us, Lieutenant L, who was injured during the event, and no damage to the ship.
Future morale events will be less exuberant.
I mean, I'm fine, because the problem is pretty much contained. Well, like, was a contained problem? So.
Wait.
So
question.
Yes.
Did anyone actually check for damage to the ship? Because technically, I did hit the holodeck wall.
Nah, I don't want to spend for that. Maintenance crews do check the holodeck. There doesn't appear to be any damage to the holodeck at this time. At least none that they found over the course of the week. and that includes level 4 or diagnostic.
Did they check above eye level?
Yes, that's part of.
Man, someone's fishing to receive a punishment.
But yeah, Commander, as far as you can tell, this was a contained event. There was no injuries outside of the holodeck, and the holodeck itself seems to be fine. There just was that random glitch where L went off course suddenly, and the holodeck couldn't keep up with his velocity and Maldone's velocity, so L hit the wall of the holodeck. So it wasn't a failure in the safeties, it was a failure of I can't keep up with both of I can't compute both of your velocities at the same time and render it.
We need to upgrade the holodeck, sir.
I mean, that could be a project.
I mean,
One of those nice G-Force cards.
Continue on. What's your reason of coming here?
Oh, I'm happy to report, sir, that Lieutenant Madone and Lieutenant L were able to decipher the logs from the Nausicaan ships. It looks like the raiders are meeting this ship near the Certania Nebula. It seems that they tow in their booty, leave it there, and then something comes out of the nebula and picks it up.
Okay, any chance those logs had any evidence of a base with a base stat?
We weren't able to find a base necessarily. There seemed to be pretty erratic flight patterns. Closest we found to a pattern is them heading toward near the Certania Nebula, but not actually going in it. They seem to be towing in ships they've captured and leaving them there, and then something gets them. Shall we plot a course for the nebula?
Make it so.
Yes, sir. I'll head up to the bridge and ask Maldon to plot a course to the nebula.
Aye, sir. Right away.
Before we transition, and is there any other information we can think to get from the computer core, or do we want to talk to one of the Nausicaan officers? I'm asking you now because this will kind of cut off from doing that.
Was there any data on the ship that came out of the nebula? You said it was kind of on the edge of the sensor scans, but it
was at the edge of the sensor scans, and it could not resolve it. It was basically just a navigational blip at that point.
Nothing as far as scale or armament or anything like that.
Not a clue. I mean, you could tell it was at warp, so it was warp powered.
Have any of the Nausicaan prisoners seemed particularly talkative?
They seem a little snacky.
Let's talk your ear off, huh?
Yeah, those right talk your ear off. There is one that is particularly boisterous. In the intervening week, he actually had to be put in solitary. He had to be in a cell by himself because he would rally up. He figured out that Starfleet kind of cares about the welfare of the prisoners, so he would rally up his Nausicaan and gang members and have them fight each other. So he was holding fight night in the middle of a prison cell, and Starfleet officers would come in and break up the fight, and yeah, he was just causing ruckus.
Too bad Ash isn't here. He'd love to interrogate this guy.
Yeah. I mean, in a command presence would work as well.
All right. If he's still in solitary, I'll go talk to him. And basically, I'm going to try, see what he knows, see what he can tell us. Fish for some details obliquely.
You can get a meeting with him set up. Would you like security there?
Oh, for sure.
2 momentum. You can have security. Any officers is either in the room with you or very close by with the panic button. However you want to set that up.
I'll have him close by. And he'll definitely be in restraints and whatnot.
Yep, that'll cover that. He's in restraints, ain't stuck to the chair, and all that stuff. All right, now to get in character. So, you asked to see me.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about your ship's activities. Can you tell me what's going on near the nebula that y'all seem to frequent so much?
Which nebula? There are many in space.
The Certania Nebula, the one y'all go by very frequently.
I'm not familiar with it. Yeah. Do we even need to roll on that one? He's obviously lying.
Right. I'm going to use my telepathy to see if I can pick up what he's thinking about as I talk about it. When you say something, someone will think about it even though they're lying about it.
Mm-hmm. Let me look at your specific skill because there are limitations to it. Okay, so you have full telepathy. Let's make this a skill roll.
And I'll be blunt, are you meeting the ship there? Who's in charge of the ship? I want him to think about these things so I can pick them up.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I'm gonna spend 2 threat to increase the complication, but an insight command difficulty 3, complication 2, and most of these difficulty 3 because this is a Nausicaan and you're not familiar with how their brain works and their psychology. So there's a little bit of reading through that to get the information.
Okay, I'll spend a point of momentum as well.
Let's change the map. Ooh, do you have a means of re-rolling that?
Can I use my determination? Other cultures are interested in that much to offer?
Yeah, that would work. it takes a little bit to read through him, and you are asking very direct questions and trying to get him to think about it. Come to find out that this man appears to be the captain of his particular vessel, and when they get targets, they would communicate on this frequency, call ahead, and the base would plot out a good intercept point and send that to them, and they tow the vessel there and drop it off. As for what ships tow them, he's not sure. He does think that the big boss has recently changed tactics. This is kind of a new thing for them, and this has changed recently, but hey, it appears to be working, or at least it was working. I was getting a lot out of them before you guys picked me up. But as for the inner mix of the operation, he does not know much. He just knows what happens outside of the nebula.
Kind of what we already know at this point.
You would pick up that very particularly he was ordered as of 6 weeks ago and frequently reminded not to kill prisoners. The prisoners are very lucrative and expensive, and he is getting 5 strips ahead for each live and able-bodied person he brings in. 5 strips of latinum, which is nearly a month's worth of wages.
So pretty good then.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're doing with those prisoners?
He shrugs. I really don't pay attention to their well-being after I get paid. There's someone else's problem at that point.
Okay. I can't really think of anything else I want to ask him.
Okay.
I'll have security return him to the general population, and make sure to thank him for all the insights given us into their operations.
However, we do have a complication. Oh no, we rolled that out. That's right. I was gonna have fun with that. Yep. And you're still gonna put him in solitary, not with the others?
No, I'm going to put him back in general with the rest of them, and I want to make sure that I thank him for being so cooperative and so informative about their operations, since he's been so nice to my crew.
Oh, that might be fun. Do you thank him while you're in the room, or do you make a show of thanking him in front of the general pop?
In front of general population. See if he rebel rouses now.
Okay. Give me a presence command and roll difficulty 3, and there's gonna be some complication in on this. Yeah, presence command diff 3. I'll have some fun with this. Difficulty 3, complication 4. There's some variables in the background that you might not be aware of.
Okay, I'll spend a point of momentum. Let's see. I suppose I can use determination to re-roll that one again.
You would have to dig into your milestones. So, at any points in the previous episodes, have you ever used a determination to make a speech or do some verbal wordplay?
Not that I can recall. Oh, can I use my Legion of Honor?
Yeah, you would have to succeed on that roll to use Legion of Honor. And this was difficulty 3. You only have 2 on the table.
If you need a dedication, I will send you one. Well, the determination.
Yeah, I could use one.
All right, you now have a point of determination from the captain.
Wait, can I do a milestone from like? Because I Calder did one 3 to 4 sessions back.
Yes, you did in front of the Indolin. It's kind of out of order, but yeah, you could like earn that milestone for talking to the Indolin Parliament and get a second point, and then you can and give it to Ross, so you don't have to deal with the rolling thing.
Yeah.
The veteran roll. I'm assuming that's what you were going for.
Yeah. And now I will go home my challenge dice, or I can't because it's a milestone.
Since we burn the milestone first, we're gonna do that in lieu of the challenge dice.
So the yay or nay for rolling the challenge dice.
That's a nay.
Okay.
But Ross, you now have a determination.
Okay, so roll another die, right?
Yes. I'm assuming that the value other cultures are interesting.
Yes.
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 Oh boy, you averted disaster there. That would have ended badly had this landed wrong. But you make this grandstand and of like, well, thanks for your help, buddy. All that information was so helpful. And clap on the shoulder, and the other Nausicaans are snarling and kind of banging on the walls, and making a lot of noises when he enters in. But he manages to yell at them and establish himself not at the top of the food chain, but at least equal to the food chain. There was a very good chance there when you felt this that as soon as you dropped that bomb, all these Nausicaans turned and said, "Oh, so you're a dirty turncoat traitor, are you? Well, I got something to say about that, bro." And they would have really messed him up in the General Pop had he not corrected for that. So that was fun.
Yeah, I don't want him to get beaten or killed, but I do want to make sure he's not a leader anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely knocked him down a few eggs. The complication was if you knock him too far down, yeah, you're gonna have a dead Nausicaan in General Pop. They would have eviscerated him. But if there is nothing else interesting to do, we will have a course set to the nebula.
And I'll let the captain know what he told me about the prisoners.
Yep. And what is our plan for going into the nebula? What's our orders, Captain?
Try to get into a perimeter without being detected, and maybe do a recon with the Slifnir.
Recon with the Slipnir, okay. And so the Slipnir is going to be doing the recon in this fall and is just going to stay in the perimeter?
Yeah.
Okay. That could be fun.
Gotta give Maldon an excuse to use the flyer.
What a gracious and lovely captain you are, my captain.
All right. But first we have to get there. Control Con difficulty 3, assisted by Engines Con.
Okay. You know the drill. Oh.
One threat?
Looks like I'm gonna have to spend 2 threat for the second dice for 1, and then the first momentum on the.
So 1 momentum, 2 threat.
Correct. For 4
Okay.
dice.
For 4 dice altogether. Got it. Easy peasy. Earn that momentum back. Horse are slayed in. And you jump to warp to the Shatari Nebula. Alright, the Shatari Nebula is a Class 2 nebula, which will mean that sensors, engines, and weapons have an increased difficulty of 2. It is as thick with particles and gas, and there are several nascent stars in here. In fact, there's a couple protostars dotting the area, and then on sensors you see at least 3 full-blown stars that are slowly blowing away the gas around them.
Any of the Nausicaan ships that we're towing still flight capable?
You could have been repairing them over this time.
Yeah, I'd like to get at least one of them workable. I'm kind of thinking if we use one of these Nausicaan fighters to tow in one of our ships or shuttles and leave it as tribute, like the Nausicaans would, maybe we can lure something out.
You would know from talking to Mike Tyson that he would call ahead and tell them that there's a tribute at this location. And it would also be at least 5 light years out.
So we're too close for that then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
I
looked
should have thought of that earlier. Oh well.
It was too suspicious to do at this range. But I do have a mechanic here for scanning this nebula. We can either do it with the Slipnir itself, or we can use this Svalinn. but basically each one of these quadrants is one potential square. And when you can be in the square, and you can kind of see into the adjacent squares. And basically what we're going to do is equivalent to the scientific method. When you're in the square, or you can do a reason science scan assisted by a control con to do a very careful search pattern in of the area, and you are just looking for hits. You're looking to get as many hits on the die as possible, and you're looking for a secret target number. If you hit the secret target number, you will find something in your square. If you don't, you can choose to keep digging in this sector, or you can choose to move on. And everything within, and everything in the adjacent squares will be at +1 on difficulty. So say the target number to find something is 5. If it's in the adjacent square, the target number will be 6.
I like this. I think I can do this.
I thought it was pretty clever of me. So, you have to choose if you want to really dig down and dig in this sector, or if you want to move on and move to another sector. Each scan pattern is going to be 6 hours. You can spend in momentum at the end of the roll to half that time. And you are on the clock here. Something might happen after a certain amount of time has expired. So, does everyone understand how this mechanic's working?
Yeah, let me get some snacks and a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
So would this work the same if we were using, like, say, the Ericsson or the Sleipnir to scan as well?
Yes, you could. But you could. The shuttles do have sensors that would be equivalent that would scan the same area. The big risk is if they find something, if they trip over something, they are on their own. But you could do that to expedite a search pattern.
Captain, what if we were to use the Ericsson and our fighter squadron teamed up, so there would be less risk if they work together? That would double our sector scans.
Use the Sleipnir instead of the Ericsson because the Sleipnir is more prepared defensively.
So the Sleipnir and the fighters, there's as one wing, and then the Svalinn by itself. That could totally happen.
Malone, get on the Sleipnir.
Excellent. Right away, Captain.
So Maldone's going to be going on the Ericsson. Magnus is going to take over on the Sleipnir.
Wait,
Yes.
Who's in charge of deciding who's scanning what sectors?
Captain, obviously.
While Malone is prepping his shuttle and the fighters will start scanning all the adjacent squares. Because I think our sensors can actually handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my understanding was we spend the 6 hours, and then that includes the adjacent squares, correct?
Yes. So you can get your square and the adjacent squares. It's just the adjacent squares would have a slightly higher range.
Yeah, so I mean, you really need a strategic mind to plan this out. Which,
I mean, you can travel through the nebula fairly quickly. You can travel faster than you scan. You're just scanning slowly to make sure you don't miss anything.
I have a new ability that might help us.
Oh, really? What is that?
Time management.
Ooh, I'm not familiar with that. Let me look that up. Or if you have the data, yeah, can you just read that out?
Give me a minute. Because I actually did copy pasted it on my sheet.
That's command ability, right?
Yep, during any challenge, extended task, or other activities under time pressure, the character may attempt a control command task with difficulty 3. If the task succeeds, reduce the total number of intervals the players have to take by 1 for every momentum spent, repeatable by a further 1. The character has time management to minimize lost time. If the task fails, 1 additional interval as the character's effort actually wastes time.
Okay. Rather than doing this on top of each roll, what we can do is do this at the end of the day, so after 4 intervals. And
Okay.
the effect will stack for the entire day. And that will represent you at the top of the day, getting in the morning, and organizing everyone and figuring all this out.
Wouldn't it be easier to just make it one roll to say that I'm forming some form of system to actually do this while also reducing time?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, you attempt the task succeeds.
For markers to show what we've already scanned as we go.
Yeah, I'll have markers, or I could just X on the map.
All right, or partially scanned, for example, as well.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start by saying whatever sector we're in, the small craft should be at least 2 sectors away.
Besides Maldone, is there any other player or character or NPC that would be on the Sleipnir?
Can we yeet Patterson on the Sleipnir?
You can totally yeet Patterson on the Sleipnir. I messed up. Patterson's yeeted, and we have all down. And then the
range, Maldon.
and then everyone else is on ship.
I was joking because he had the aura on you.
Yeah, I played with settings and like, oh yeah, I should have it to automatically place the auras, because that would be handy. And now I realize, no, it's not handy, because not every token I place needs the aura. So, learning curve, everybody. In fact, only a few tokens I have need the aura. And Mag. All right. Now we got everyone set up. Okay. So, Svalinn is going to start here. Do we want the Sleipnir to go down two sectors? Or 2 sections?
Sounds good to me. I mean,
That makes sense. A little
All right.
distance.
Little distance so you can.
And one layer off, so I would actually put them here.
That sound good for everyone?
sure.
All right.
We're looking at maximum coverage. So here they would scan there, here, or sorry, they would scan here, 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 while we would be scanning here. In fact, actually, I wouldn't put us on the outer layer. I would actually, so I would say start us in this sector.
Start us in the middle? Okay.
This one, yeah.
All right. Now that we got all that sorted out, Commander Calder, let's go ahead and do the control command difficulty 3 time management roll.
Okay, take a threat GM.
Okay.
If he's using the Starfleet project management software, can he get the ship bonus too?
Yes. Computers command.
I'll let you go the ship. Okay, I'm revealing that 20.
Okay.
And I will burn my Medal of Honor to do the 2 advantage spend on that ability.
The 2 momentum spend?
Yeah, which does an extra interval.
Yeah, but that's with determination, right? Oh, wait.
No, I'm banning
No.
my Medal of Honor.
Yep. It'd work. Okay, so yeah, basically you can cut the time in half, so instead of getting done in each interval all taking 6 hours, you can actually bust this down to 3. And that would be a standing. Let me double click this. Hold on. There, that makes sense. All right. Let's get the first our scan going. For the Svalinn team, reason, science, control, plus con, assisted by. Yeah, sensors plus psi. And you are just trying to swing for the fences. Elle, you're up. How would you like to do this?
What's the task?
reason science, main, assisted by control con, and assisted by sensor science.
Oh, shoot. I gotta reset roll 20.
Oh, the captain stepped away.
Alright, sensor operations focus. Might as well take the extra dice. Or the one momentum.
Okay.
We haven't used sensors yet, have we?
We have not.
We're gonna use it a lot, that's for sure.
So the notes on the Svalinn sensors say they reduce the difficulty of a task by 1. Is that a factor on this one?
Yes, that would factor in basically the secret number or I'm shooting for, or it'll go down by 1.
Okay.
And also of note, I've sprinkled in some random finds in here, so there's going to be some RNG involved in this.
A few false positives, huh?
Yeah. Or just like you're scanning around, you bump into someone or something.
Alright, I want to use my Starfleet Exploration Division decoration, which will reduce the difficulty down by 1.
Okay, so -1 on diff sensors, and then -1 on diff metal.
And we will go with that for right now. That's a lucky roll too. Oh yes.
And Magnus can assist by controlling a ship very correctly.
Is someone getting that?
Need to roll for Magnus, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Control con from the con officer.
Just 1 dice?
Yeah, just 1 dice. All right, total is 6. Nothing of interest.
Alright. So, in any of those sectors.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish to move, or do you wish to continue?
Well, I want to get a. I mean, you're doing this like the scientific methods. Something tells me maybe I should give it a second search. Around where we're at. But I'm willing to offset it 1 sector too.
Move 1 sector and then scan again.
Yeah, so let's go here. So that'll still cover these 2 sectors.
Okay. And I kind of wish I had number tokens. That would be... Actually, wait, I do have number tokens. I have text. Okay.
Yes. See, that'll help too. All right. And did the captain's ability cut back the time on that?
Yeah, basically, instead of each interval taking in 6 hours, you're doing this in 3 hours.
Okay.
And that's just a standing advantage for this entire task.
Alright, so let's do this again. This time, I get an extra die for free and a additional -1. So it's a sensor suite and
Sensor suite and theory and practice. Okay.
Yeah. And then, oh, what the hell? Why don't we just take the chance? Let's do let's just give you the 5 threat for 2 more dice.
5 threat for 2 dice.
Yep. And double the focus range medal.
Oh, the Cochrane?
Yeah.
All right.
It's no help in itself, but it's still a good roll.
Yep, and then the ship and Magnus can assist.
Nice.
That's Magnus. Sensor science, right?
Yeah, sensor science for the ship. So
if I
9.
can understand that right, that puts 9 here.
Yep.
8, 8, 8. This would add 8, and this would add 8. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, I did not consider how that would add up, but yeah, I guess it makes sense.
And those 2 5s would become 13s.
13s.
Yeah.
You know,
this
I'm
is
willing...
why I say
I did not consider how the sensors would overlap after you move away from the sector, but I'm willing to play with this. I think this is still balanced.
I think it's balanced. I just think I'm just a really smart guy that likes to figure these sort of things out.
Yeah, and it's kind of a new twist on that old mechanic. Meanwhile, Maldone, you are in the Slipnir. You are having fun with this. It's zipping around. You have the fighters. You have the fighters in close formation behind you.
Okay.
And Patterson's gonna lead the role with reason science. You can assist with control con, and then the sensor science of the Slipnir. Oh, can you pull up the Patterson sheet? I will get the Slipnir. Yeah, Maldon, are you playing any music?
Right now? No.
on the ship. Nah, I thought it was funny.
I don't think I have a choice at this point.
I just thought it would sound good, with the fighter wing behind you. Da, 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 da.
Sure.
Da-
You gonna put the stuff for the roll?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's in
same
Discord because it's the
Oh,
it's gonna be safe for everyone.
okay.
I could put this in here too.
buy one, die with threat.
Okay.
Okay, so am I actually making any rolls right now?
You're assisting
Yeah,
with Control Con.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, one guy's on the sensor, the other guy is moving the ship and making sure you're going into a proper search pattern. And then
The ship.
sensor science ship always gets the focus. Ooh, nice.
So that would be 6 here in that sector and 5 in the surrounding sectors.
6 5 5 5 5.
So if we want to try something interesting, we could have Maldon go to this sector for his next one. That would it would add a zone and really increase numbers on a couple sectors.
Unfortunately, at the end of your scan and cycle, you find yourself facing an asteroid field. The crashing rubble of 2 planetoids, baby planets that are trying to form, and it just left a strew of debris between you and your location, Maldon. You are gonna need to do some fancy flying to get out of here.
Okay.
So Control Con, diff 3, actually Control Con. Normally this would be actually you have the hot rod, so all increased complication range due to tasks involving the engines resulting from adverse environments such as stealth phenomenon is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 0. So normally be diff 3, bump up to diff 5 because of the nebula, but you have those hot rod engines, so this is diff 4.
Whew, okay.
So it's gonna be dicey, but Patterson might be able to set up an assistance on this as if he would like.
Let's go ahead and buy 2 dice. And I would love the assistance.
All right. Patterson and can assist with reason in science as he's scanning ahead and calling shots.
Huh. Well, I'm only going to be able to re-roll 1 of those. Okay. Now let's get the engines. Actually, that should... Because we succeed with that, then... Okay, I have enough to quash the second one.
All right, and then...
Did you already hit Patterson?
Yeah, I did.
Go.
Engines, con, not engineering. Okay, but we have
5.
3, 4, 5, 1 plus 1 from all fingers of thumbs. You do have 2 momentum. You managed to nail it. You're soaring through these asteroids. Maybe getting a little too too close, but you managed to get it. And then there's this weird gravity influx, and two asteroids are actually crashing together in front of you, and you manage to turn the slip near air longitudinally and slip right through, scraping the shields as you go through, but you manage to get out with no real adverse damage.
Like a glove?
There's that teeth gritting moment of shield impact and just static discharge all across your ship. But you barely managed to get through.
Does the reduced time interval thing from the captain work with Maldon as well?
Yeah, Maldon's part of the crew. I'm assuming you're still part of the crew. Yeah. All right.
So he gets a second sector, right?
Yes. So, do the big roll again. So we're doing reason science, assisted by control con, and assisted by sensor science.
Hey Maldon, let me know when you're feeling curious on that ship.
Define. You're gonna have to define what you mean there a little bit better.
Patterson has a value, always curious. But he's rolling well right now.
He is.
How many 2s have I gotten so far? God damn. Every roll I've gotten a 2 so far.
And then Maldon and I can roll the slip near, because I'm trying to be helpful. Seven. Nice. So we have 7 in this sector. No. 7 in this sector. And then +7 everywhere else. 13. Yeah, that's just straight 20. Pretty sure it is not in here. I think we can eliminate that as a possibility. And 12. All right. And that is the first interval. There we go. And now back on the Slipnir. Where would you like to continue scanning here, or would you like to move on?
Back on the Svalinn?
Yep.
I want to go over here.
This one?
Yep.
Alright. In hindsight, I probably should put the letters on, the numbers on different layer, but... Alright, you know the roll. actually, before the roll happens, as you are maneuvering, you suddenly get a distress call from this sector.
Which sector?
I'm gonna drop a token on it. Distress call from there.
Okay.
Calder, are you back yet? What's the distress signal? Is it verbal or?
Automatic. I'm saying it's a scale 4 civilian in vessel. 500 lives aboard. Life support are just going out. Engines are down. Warp speed is down. They hit a gravitic mine, and she is losing power and losing life fast.
Elle, can you verify any of that from this range?
GM, can I verify any of it?
1, 2, 3, 4. That's a really long range. Long way away. Possibly, but it's going to be high in the sky roll. But let me calculate this. Yeah, you're looking at a reason science difficulty 8 to see that far. Otherwise, as you could just maneuver closer, and that would definitely decrease the range.
Yeah, we'll maneuver closer.
Elle's actually going to advise that both us and Maldon set an intercept because he would actually get there faster.
Yeah, Maldon, you would definitely have picked us up at this time, and you can communicate with each other in real time.
Yeah, let's all move to adjacent squares. This sounds like a trap, so let's get in close enough to do a scan before we go charging in.
Trap? No. Why would there be a trap? I'm offended. Implying that there's a trap. It's just an innocent distress signal. People are dying right now.
It's a pirate lair in a nebula.
Yeah, and they're saying that, babies' lips are turning blue because of lack of oxygen.
Well,
Cry, baby, cry.
if we each went 2 zones, Maldon would be here and we would be here.
Yeah. Maldon, would you like to move to intercept?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Since this is kind of a time-sensitive thing, let's see how well you can manage this. Engines con. Yep. Control con diff 3 assisted by engines con, and that includes the hot rod. And you can succeed at cost, the cost being that it might take a while to get there.
I have to step away on it.
Maldon.
Yeah, just 1 dice.
Okay.
Are you doing the Slipnir, or do you want me to get that?
I have the Slipnir. Trying to help with so many sheets today. We have. I swear I can math. That is 5 plus 1 more, or so we have 2 momentum and 1 float. as you very quickly tear across space to get to this adjacent square. Would you like to use that float for anything in particular?
Scan that bad boy.
Sure. Let's see if we can get a scan off before we actually.
Yeah. For your float and your 1 momentum, I can say that you can effectively swift task and come in screaming and scanning. So you can scan really quickly before the Sleipnir moves too far. To scan at this range, we are looking at reason, science, sensors, and reason, science, diff 4, and assisted by sensor science. Part of that is just the nebula itself. Elle, would you like to roll for Patterson? Or Ross, can you pick that up?
Yeah, I think you stepped away. Let me find it. Patterson.
Yep. Ensign? I think Patterson's an ensign, or was he a lieutenant?
It says ensign.
Ensign. Okay.
I'm back.
Yeah, Patterson has a difficulty 4 roll. Oh, that can pull off really quickly.
I'll do a point of momentum since it's a higher difficulty.
Okay.
Difficulty 4, you're going to need more than 3 dice, probably. You pulled it off.
And we also got the ship too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the Sleipnir, so not rolling. Small craft don't roll too hot. But
Yeah, we got it.
Yep, you do manage to get it. I mean, I can't say you're definitely not detecting any scale 4 or vessels in the area. Some scale 4 rocks, but not scale 4 vessels. And you
Who
don't
could
really.
have possibly predicted?
Seems like somebody put a transponder on a rock.
At this point, the Svalinn and can get closer in range. And Elle, you'd be looking at a difficulty 4 as well because of the advanced sensors, or diff 3 because of theory into practice. You crazy bastard.
Testing a theory and theory into practice.
I can't challenge the science.
Sounds
You
good
ate my
theoretically.
science. You ate my
Theoretically, it
science.
sounds fun. Oh, and that 12 got displaced.
I will be right back.
More 2s. I am rolling well tonight. I hope my
Just wait.
reputation
I have 20 threat. I have a lot I could do. And then the Svalinn's sensor science.
I have not had a roll where I haven't rolled at least 1 2.
Yep.
Most of them I'm getting 2 2s.
You managed to crush this, gain a momentum off it, and you concur, or there is no vessels within that at region. Some sporadic, small, faint power sources. Would you like to ask additional questions?
I advise we proceed with caution.
Would you like to proceed?
would like to launch a probe.
We can certainly do that. Ross?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's launch a probe in there.
All right. Yeah, easy peasy. That's not even gonna be. I need a probe token. That's what I need. Starfleet probe. Yeet. All right. You have a. Oh goodness. That meme. All right. You have a probe in the facility. You are receiving telemetry. Right now it's a reason science diff 1 roll since you're in the same sector and all the advantages that you and that ship have.
Reason science diff 1.
Yep, after all your buffs. And the Svalinn.
Well, we still have the 2 questions, right?
You get 1 free question and then you can spend momentum. So that is at least 2. Oh. Yep, you got 2 momentum off that. Probe drifts around for a little bit. You're getting a much cleaner picture since the sensors are actually in the same aim sector. You sniff around for a little bit and you actually find between yourself, the Sleipnir, and the probe, you're able to triangulate where this signal is coming from, and indeed you find a crybaby. A small transceiver strapped to a thorium and battery, and it is just playing a loop.
Say that again.
You find the crybaby device. It's a transceiver that's strapped to a thorium battery and a small a very small computer program that says play this file repeat.
Is there anything dangerous in the area?
I can answer that. 1, define dangerous, and 2, I can answer that for your science question.
Well, is anything happening to the probe as the probe scans it?
As far as you can tell, there was nothing dangerous in the area. I mean, it's a thorium battery, so if you do bring it on board, you have to take radiation precautions. That's about it.
Okay.
No signs of explosives, energy weapons, or weird anomaly.
Of unknown trap.
As far as you know, no signs of a trap.
I love how you say "as far as you know."
I mean, as far as you know, there could still be a trap out there. Looks clear. I thought you said it was clear. What does it look like now? Looks clear.
We could always just spend. Well, I mean, obviously, we don't need to worry about this little crybaby device. So, how about we just spend the next 6 hours in the adjoining sectors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scan where you are.
Yep. And I will say that at that unfortunate little jaunt did take an interval out.
So we can do this sector and this sector at the same time.
And I will turn off the... I'm just going to delete the crybaby, but the probe will be there to represent where it was.
Let's move the Svalinn down one sector here.
Falling down one?
No, yeah, to that one to the side there. Yeah.
And the Slipnir over, or?
No, leave the Slipnir in the same sector that it's already in.
Alright. And we good on locations?
Yeah.
Alright, reason plus science assisted by control con assisted by sensor science.
Buy 1 dice with momentum, which costs 2.
And control con on from Magnus and sensor science from the Slipnir.
That's a 9.
All right. Nine,
I'm getting
8,
Patterson.
8.
Patterson, buy 1 die.
Okay. And Maldon assist. And Slipnir assist.
You got that one, Meldon?
I can grab him. All right, so that is 5.
I think you deleted the number in that sector
Yeah.
there.
Oh, whoops. There, numbers. No, numbers not working. There we go. All right. At this point, you
Numbers on the map layer.
But then if I'm put on the map later, I'm going to be move around the actual clouds behind it. Oh well. I made it work. You have found nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting.
However, at the end of this cycle, near the very end, and L, you find that the sensors have been magnetized by iron particulate in the nebula, and they have been distorted for the past cycle. So
minor action to fix.
Slightly more than a minor action. You're gonna have to you're going to have to sit and have engineering and repair the sensors for a little bit. So, Ross.
Did he make a roll?
Yes. No, that's not. Yeah. My buttons aren't working. Control. I am messing up my own buttons. All right, end of the day, we're looking at control engineering difficulty 4 on that.
Okay, I'll activate Neff to lend an assist, and I'll buy additional dice for the point of threat.
Okay. And then left with the assist. Excellent.
There's left.
And it takes a little while. You basically have to realign the entire lateral sensor array, which is a pain, but you manage to get that done. However, that does chew another interval out of you. Meanwhile, on the Slipnir, Lieutenant Maldone, where would you like to go?
I'm not back at my PC quite yet. So
Oh, okay.
I need someone else to decide the direction. I'm more than happy to go there.
Yeah. Where would the team like the Slipnir to go?
Let's move them down to. Let's go here.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. Zerp. And Maldo's not here.
The number and sector he was in,
Yep.
and that one.
Oh. I don't know where that one went, so I'll just retype it. All right, and Madon's not here, so I'm not going to pick on his crew. So the reason science, and it's assisted by control con, assisted by sensor science. And I got the 2 sheets. It's something. All right. Something has their numbers. Airs down. Where shall the Svalinn go next?
Probably to the west.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Along the west mid-ring still?
Well, I do want to get back to this one, but I don't want to let us go without getting this outer ring, so let's just go. Yeah, let's do here.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting enough, as you approach that sector,
Which we've already been through it before.
yeah, but as you approach, there is a vessel there that you see. A Ferengi Decora class.
Oh, really? The Ferengi and the Nausicaans.
Who would have thought? It is registered as the FMS Hard Bargain. And she is hailing you.
What do you want to do, Captain?
On screen.
And ground NPCs don't need auras. Good afternoon, Captain. I am Damon Takor. I see that you are performing some intricate sensor or sweeps of this nebula, and I happen to be in the neighborhood, and I thought I might offer some assistance in such matters for financial gain.
We're currently league fine without your assistance, but thanks for the offer.
Well, I have some class 12 sensor probes that I have available, and I was wondering if perhaps a quick sale of these probes might assist you in this endeavor, or they will help decrease the difficulty range of finding anything in this nebula, and you would also have extended range.
Elle will whisper to Ross, They could pay us 1 bar of latinum if they want to help us.
Hey, El, can you scan for human presence on their ships?
Do you want an active or a passive scan?
Captain, I think if this is where the crews have been taken, can we aggressively scan them to find out if they've got them on board?
Make it so, but make sure you do it without them noticing.
You can't. If you do an active scan, they're going to notice.
Okay,
It's a hostile act, usually.
I'm going to talk to the captain of that ship and say, we'll accept the, we'll consider the offer if you allow us to scan your ship to make sure it's actually, that those probes are actually there.
Why, I wouldn't want to trick such fine and noble Starfleet officers. No, I save those tricks for the Klingons. They're stupid enough to fall for them. But you're Starfleet. You're way too smart or to fall for any trickery. But by all means, please scan my cargo holds.
I look at L and say, do it.
Reason, science.
Hell will scan the entire ship.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna be throwing some threat at this to increase the comp range, but I think I can increase. Yeah, and then 2.
Alright, what's the roll?
Just a minute. Yep, that's enough. Reason science and base difficulty 3 gonna be brought down to 1 because of all your BS. No hard feelings. No, I'm serious. No hard. But complication 4 are on the slight chance that you might notice and you might aggravate him.
Okay. Sensor suite drops difficulty by 1.
Take a new act from me, and I will burn my pike metal.
Ooh.
Theory into practice. 1 more. What's the pike metal do?
Treat my assist as a critical success.
So you basically instantly have a +2 on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much just make my dice land on a 1.
I was going to use determination, but now I don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I mean, it's a diff 1 now anyways?
Yeah, it's diff 1, so this is gonna be a great momentum generator.
Oops. It was L. It was off L's sheet. I just had Patterson named.
Yeah, that's cool. And sensor science from the Svalinn. Are you sure you don't want a comp? Are you sure you don't want a complication on that?
I'm sure.
All right.
You've seen my rolls today. I'm rolling high.
Which on the 2d20 system means you're rolling low, but anyways, you scan his ship. There are no Federation civilian races on board. there are 3 Ferengi and half dozen Nausicaans on board. As far as the sensor probes, they are sensors and they're proby and they seem legit. The cargo probe. The cargo hold does have several stacks of sensor probes along with various other sensory and excavation equipment.
I would say out loud that they have it, and there's and then I will very subtly send a message to the XO and CO console that says 12 Nausicaans.
Presence con on difficulty 1. See if he can and sent you secretly sensing a message on screen.
Presence con?
Yep, this is you holding a straight face and also typing on the computer.
Computer's focus?
I'll allow it. Kind of typing on the computer one-handed without looking. All right. Exo and Captain, you are made so aware that there are 12 Nausicaans on board that vessel.
Do we have the cargo manifest for the ship that was destroyed? Was it the Battleberg?
The battle barge, yes.
Battle barge, yeah. Is anything on that Ferengi ship match what was on the Battleberg?
Like the number of Nausicaans?
I don't know if you actually pulled their record, but for 2 momentum, you could have the manifest of the battle barge on hand.
By the way, you owe me 1.
What do you think, Cap? Worth it?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll do it.
All right. You have the manifest of the battle barge. She was actually carrying agricultural and farming equipment.
So nothing like that on the Ferengi?
Yeah, and nothing matches.
Maybe there's somebody else out there.
Well, Captain, and would you accept my offer?
What was the scan? Again, I'm having some connection problems.
Scans revealed 3 Ferengi, 12 Nausicaans on board, and they are currently carrying sensors and excavation and equipment along with deep space probes. And that does not match what was on the manifest of the battle barge.
Could have been from other ships, but
Are those Nausicaans also armed with weapons?
For 1 momentum, I can answer that.
Oh. Yeah, spend the 1.
Yes, they are indeed armed, but so are the Ferengi. They have standard weapons on them.
Okay, I'm going to calmly tell the Ferengi that we'll call you back when I talk to my bridge crew about this.
Well, don't wait too long on Commander. I have a schedule to keep, but I figured or I might be able to make some latinum along the way. Don't wait too long. These items are selling fast. And he cuts off.
I was going to ask him a question before he died.
Yeah, you can catch him.
Say, Damon, what's a trader like you doing out in the nebula like this? There can't be much commerce going on out this way.
There is commerce or out on the other side of this nebula.
So you're just passing through?
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting the sense of whether he's telling the truth or not?
Ah, damn it. All right, Insight Command and difficulty 2.
I would like to assist.
Yes, you may assist. Gain a momentum. Liar, liar, pants on fire. The nebula is not just a transient thought. There is something very big and important in this nebula that he has strong emotional connection to.
The council has given you one press X to doubt meme.
What was that again?
He definitely has a strong emotional tie to this nebula. He's not just passing through. He wants something in here. There's something in here that he feels a strong connection to and wants to protect.
Maybe a momentum spend to figure out what it could be.
I'll allow it.
Do you allow it to last? Well, does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
My operation.
So I guess once we cut the communication with the daemon, after the pleasantries, I'll relay what I picked up to the captain.
You are made so aware.
So there's something still out here in this nebula. Another Ferengi ship or a base or something.
And also, that ship has armed Nausicaans.
Probably.
No, well, no, that isn't not a top possibility. It's definite.
It's a definite certainty, but Inside Command Diff 1.
Me? To take a threat.
Yep.
Feeling the critical fail.
You managed to get it. It is not unusual to see Ferengi and Nausicaans working together. Nausicaans are frequently hired as bodyguards for particularly lucrative Ferengi outfits. They bring the muscles, the Ferengi bring the lobes. So that in itself is not incriminating.
They got a nice little piracy operation going on here.
I mean, there is a chance if we do beam these, well, get these probes. But I don't know if we can get what we. Well, there's a chance that there's some form of trap will be happening.
Yeah, they could be booby trapped. They could be defective.
I'm spending threat to activate something here. L, you've heard of Class 12 probes. These are made alongside the Luna class, and they are deep space exploration probes, and they essentially have built in the advanced sensor or trait on the probe itself. So you can use it to decrease the range and also decrease the difficulty of sensor scans. And these will be amazing tools to have, even if not just for this trick.
Alright.
Are those Federation probes, or are they just Ferengi probes that happen to be the equivalent of that?
They are civilian probes, but these are like high-end civilian probes.
So it's not stolen Starfleet equipment? Or
It's not
anything.
stolen Starfleet equipment, no. But you're like seriously motivated to want these probes, if not just for this adventure, for other adventures.
Okay, so I think the best way to solve this problem is to... Well, is there a way we could do an intense scan of something, even if it's in a transporter buffer?
Not really. It'd have to be materialized somewhere before you can scan it. The transporter does scan, and for simple things like explosives, weapons, and that kind of stuff, and we'll deactivate them and flag them.
Okay, so...
You can scan or have them transported off the the bow of the ship and check them out there, or...
I think best case is to have us do the transporting, so that way we'll be in good control of what's going down. And
Makes sense.
If they are armed, we could just arm the weapons if they try and do anything funny.
Or if there's any stowaways.
I'm gonna be hard to have stowaways via transporter.
Yeah, as soon
I
as
was thinking in the probe.
yeah, it would be really hard to do that, because as soon as you transport up, the transporter's gonna go, hey, there's a Grand Commander in here. I need to recognize that and put it back exactly the same way I picked it up in. So it'll be really, really hard to trick a transporter or into smuggling someone on.
Okay, I think I'll contact him, and with that, I'll put him back on screen.
Yes, Commander. Have you made a decision on this business transaction?
Yes, I would like to purchase some of these probes.
Excellent. With this lucrative bunch of probes, I can sell them a lot of 12 probes for 8 bars of latinum. Slight complication, you don't have latinum.
I got 2 bars in 8 strips.
You do have 2 bars and 8 strips. You could use that as a bargaining wedge, but you would have to offer him something else.
I'm gonna try something stupid and try and ask what I'm gonna ask how many probes can I get with wait, is it 1 probe for 12?
It's 12 probes for 8, so with 2 he might be able to give you 4 for 2 bars, possibly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll at least be willing to meet you, you at that price. So it'll still be an opposed roll.
Okay, I'll ask how many can I get with 2 bars and 8 strips of platinum?
Might be able to do 5, but if you throw in some warp plasma, I can. If you can give me 4 units of warp plasma, I can make that at a full of. I can make that at a full 8 probes. And mechanically, what that means, you would be sacrificing 4 power off the top of your warp core, and that will slowly regenerate. That'll be your max power throughout the game, and that will slowly regenerate each day. As you will decrease the max power of your ship, and it'll just take 4 days to regenerate all those power points back.
Sounds pretty risky if we run into some bad guys.
Wait, above game.
Yes.
Why don't I just buy 1 and we could just reverse engineer one of them to just have more.
That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
He will.
I think I will actually say I'm fine with just the 5 probes.
With 5 probes for the 2 bars.
2 bars and the 8 strips.
Okay. This is gonna be a opposed presence command. See if we can make that deal stick.
Momentum, 1 momentum, and 2 threat.
Okay, you are spending up to 4, and for Rangi, you have a lot of rules regarding trade and commerce for some reason.
Does he have the lobes?
Engage negotiations, potential profit. Spend 1 threat to reroll the pool. You are offering something in trade, and that is not applicable, so I'm just going to spend 3 threat and match you with 4 dice.
Okay, I'm a little now.
Go ahead.
I'm reloading that 0.
I am spending a threat and using the rule. Greed is internal. When engaged in negotiation, I can spend 1 threat and reroll my entire pool. And I'm just gonna reroll my 2. Curses. You actually managed to talk him down, and you can keep the 8 strips.
Okay, so and I gain 4 momentum back.
Yep, you gain 4 momentum back. You lose the 2 bars of Latinum, and you gain 5 class 12 probes.
Before we send the Latinum over there, how hard would it be to make a box for the Latinum bars that had a secret tracker built into it?
Oh, that is dastardly. I love it. Yes. Sadly, that would be a security roll, but it would be control security, use the difficulty of how hard it is to find that tracker.
Let's see, is there a second to Ash here?
There's Zogar and Daiba. I think Daiba is more the second in command. Let me look at your support. Tavrel is
Yeah, Daiba's got pretty good security.
Yeah, Daiba has good security, and she hasn't been upgraded. So that needs to happen.
What was the roll for that again?
That is going to be control security and call shot. So you have to make a call of the difficulty, and if you hit it, it'll be that difficult for him to find the probe later.
We'll make it difficulty 3. And can I assist in the construction of the box?
Yes, you can assist with control engineering.
That was for Daiba there.
Mm-hmm.
And control engineering.
Yes. All right. So you have advantage, diff 3, hidden tracer on platinum box on board the hard bargain. Very good. Okay, so as you're settling the details, you set this up for transport, and you manage to hide a small tracker inside the very cleverly presented Latinum box, and the transport happens. Sure, I'll do the sound effect because I like the buttons. What are they doing there? There we go. Transport happens and smoothly. You get 5 class 12 probes that are. You get 5 class 12 probes beamed into your cargo bay, and he takes the latinum, counts it on screen, all 2 bars of it, and goes, "Very well, El Commander. I appreciate your business and hope that you have a good day." And turns around and warps out.
Okay, do a intense scan.
Thoroughly double check these probes.
Yeah. We're all thinking the same thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
thoroughly scan that those probes to see.
Yeah, you have him in your cargo bay, so you can disassemble them, and all that.
I mean, we are going to obviously disassemble them so we can actually do the whole. Let's take these things apart with an engineer and permanently have them as part of our ship's arsenal.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and reason science assisted by control engineering as L, you are scanning these probes, and Ross, you are down there disassembling them. NG. So region science plus control engineering plus sensors engineering.
That sensors engineering from the ship.
Oh, and I should probably set a diff 3. And let's make this a little spicy. Comp 2. L?
Oh, sorry. What do you need?
Reason science, and you're the lead role to scan those probes.
Using a tricorder?
Yeah.
Alright. A tricorder is a form of a computer, right?
It's a form of a sensor.
It's a form of a sensor that works. Wait. Oops, did not mean to close that. Buy 1 dice with momentum and my luck ran out.
Ruh-roh.
Womp womp. And
Well, that's okay. I will use determination to deal with that. On the value, I am science.
I'll allow it.
And while we're at it, we're going to use that metal that gives me 2 uses of determination. So we're going to just flat out re-roll and start with an automatic 1.
Can I give?
So that would make 3 successes
And no comp.
and no comp. Full reversal.
Okay. So we have 3 successes, no comp. Yeah, because you can use that metal to reroll and get the double hit. Calder, you were gonna say something? Okay.
So these probes are.
And with that, you scan the probes, and at first it looks right, but then that doesn't make sense. Why is that connected there? And then this part doesn't make sense, and this part doesn't even go to a standard sensor probe. And as you're slowly pulling these things apart, you essentially got several pinball machines stuffed into probe casings. You were gypped. These things are absolutely useless. They could even tell French fry from a potato from 3 meters away.
Whoops.
Well, if we see him again, it'll be a different conversation.
We'll load them up with warheads and send them back.
Which, actually, I forgot to mention in something. Way back in the sensor scan of his ship and what his cargo has, it has excavation, deep space equipment. In the excavation equipment, that included explosives. Lots and lots of fun, high yielding explosives that could be used for construction or nefarious means, depending on who you talk to.
Oh, if we see him, we can just target his cargo hold.
So
So,
if you want them to blow him to dust.
You didn't think of that option, did you?
huh? No, it's fine. This is working as intended. But yeah, looks like you're gonna have to track this guy down to get a refund. Meh.
All right, Captain, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue scanning?
Worry about tracking him down later.
Yeah. All right, we'll
Just
continue
realized
scanning.
I was still muted. That's unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, a
Anyways.
Ferengi giving a refund. That's a great joke. I like that one.
I'm a funny man. I do the comedies.
All sales are final. That's what I assume that conversation that we have with him would go.
Uh-huh.
We can always offer him a return without him providing a refund.
I mean, if you shoot them out the torpedo tubes, yeah, that would be a return. A high yield return.
Ferengis like high yield returns.
Oh gods. Technically, yes. Okay. Meanwhile, Maldon, and you've been kind of you've been busy this last little while. You have these sectors around you. These 3 you're on and have up to 3, but these 2 up here have 16 and 13. So, would you like to relocate?
It's a numbers game, Maldon.
I mean, what's the play though?
Honestly, I think right where you're at is a good spot to scan again because those 3 sectors are all low numbers. Nothing would have probably turned up with those low numbers.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt to scan them again to be sure.
Sure, let's do that.
Like, we
Okay.
probably want to get like an 8 or higher.
All right. So the mystery scan roll, which is reason science plus control con. So Patterson, how would you like to do this?
Oh, Patterson.
You got Patterson.
Yeah, I got him.
Also, does this mean with these probes now gonna be in our replicator thing? Does that...
You look like you're hurting for threat, so we'll give you 1 threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calder, what you were saying?
What? I'm imagining that with these now being being readily available because of our advanced engineering. I'm guessing they gotta cost something to actually use them.
I think you missed something.
I think you missed something. The detailed scan revealed that these probes were useless. They were gimmicky mock-ups with fake parts that are at least 10 years out of date.
I like your pinball description.
Yeah. You took a pinball machine and shoved it into a torpedo casing.
We're the Libyans.
Oh god dang it.
We got snookered.
Uh,
Yeah, we had a whole discussion about that.
okay, time to put that asshole on the Federation blacklist.
Yeah, he's on the watch list. Luckily you do have a tracer on him, so.
We were discussing that Ferengi like high yields in profits, and we'd like to make a return. Now we don't need a refund, but we're happy to give him a high yield return.
Let's not give them a torpedo with a ticking clock duct taped on it.
I thought we'd send him back to probes with a little X or something.
Yeah, well,
And by the way, there's a lot of explosives in his cargo hold. We found that out from the census.
I forgot to mention, and so I retconned on that. Along with his exploration excavation equipment, he does have a large number of explosives.
Yeah, that's going on a sticky note to the tactical council.
I mean, those could be for mining.
Yeah, they were definitely within the mining range. These are like low yield torpedoes, high yield nukes, maybe. And then
Just made to like crack an asteroid.
Yeah, crack an asteroid. But yep. So we have Maldon, and now you need a Sleipnir with my notes all over the place. All right. So you got these up to 7, 7, 7. Numlock. 7 and 20 at least. If anything, by the time you're done with this, and she will have a lot of astrological data. But at this point, you do not find anything. However, let's have a little fun. Something does find you. Maldon, as you are out and about and sweeping this place, Nausicaan and Raider bumps into you. Oh, hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it sees you and opens fire.
Idiot.
It's like, I don't like you poking around in my nebula. Hurrah! And completely whiffs.
That better be a warning shot.
It wasn't intended to be a warning shot, but it did glance off. He missed you by a mile, which is not a lot in space, but kind of embarrassing for a tactical officer. Maldon, it's now your turn.
Alright, it's time to fight!
All right, boys, we're around the simulation. They're tough, but they ain't invincible.
First things first, I'm assuming minor action, red alert.
Yeah.
Yay. As I flip all my eye buttons open, the stream now goes to red alert status.
I think we should have one more crew point on the Sliffney for Zogor.
That could totally happen. Yeah, you have one more crew point available. He can take one. Actually, technically, the Slipnir has its own crew point. No, small craft don't get crew. Nah. Okay, regardless, Zogor can totally be on your ship.
Make it so.
Hey, look, Zogar's been there the whole time. Ha ha ha. All right, Maldon, your move. And you do have the fighters with you as an advantage.
Yep. Well, we're firing on them. Phasers.
Fire phasers and control security. One zone. I'll be a little nice. Control security, diff 3, assisted by weapon security. And who has control of Zogar's sheets? L?
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, can you roll for Zogar, or someone can?
Yeah.
I'll go for Zogor.
Okay. Control security diff 3. Would you like to buy additional dice?
Yes. We're gonna buy 2 dice with momentum.
Okay.
Take a third GM.
Okay. So 1 threat, 2 momentum, and for 4 dice on Zogar.
Yep, and he'll spend a maneuver to engage precision targeting.
Okay, what you aiming at?
Weapons.
Good choice. Oh no.
3 momentum.
Slipnir. 4 momentum. And phaser bank damage. Would you like to pump extra power into this? You have 7 points of power. For every 1 point of power you put into a phaser shot, you can and add an extra challenge dice, but you can only juice it for a max of 2 power.
Two power it is.
All right, you're playing hardball, but
Oh, we got a good roll right there.
You have a good roll
Yeah.
right there, and you're a barely small ship, so juicing it might be the only way to nick this thing.
One of the
yeah.
versatile on illegal.
Yep. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rerolls. That's better. All right. And
The other versatile on piercing.
all right. So -2. So
And let's do
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
and I'm guessing piercing 3. With the 3 chevrons.
I'm with the momentum spite. It's just a flat 2, so piercing 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a weapon quality. It gives it the piercing on the chevrons. And you also have 2 float from your fighters. How would you like to apply that?
I was thinking spread, but we're not doing that much damage.
7 damage base. You could just slap it on an extra damage, or you can use it as an advantage.
Perhaps an advantage that would make it more difficult for them to fire on us. Basically, we've coordinated our fire in such a way that it's extremely distracting. It's like their bridge is constantly being shaken by.
I will totally allow that. Advantage: they are blinded by the light, so they have +1 difficulty to fire. And that is 7 damage to base, so that is 6 damage to the shield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is 1 breach to weapons. Would you like to keep?
Yes.
All right, and who will go next?
Maldon will go next. And he'll do evasive maneuvers to make it even more difficult for them to fire. On the Sleipnir.
Excellent. Let me look up evasive maneuvers. Power requirement 1, Daring Con, Diff 1, assisted by Structure Con.
I'll take a 3rd dice for momentum.
And Sleipnir, Structure Con. All right, you gain 2 momentum, 3 momentum with your fingers and thumbs. And you successfully make it even more harder for them to hit you by moving in an evasive pattern around you. Fighters are fully engaged. You are doing this cool barrel roll off to the sides and to keep them off you. Would you like to use your one float for anything?
What can I use that for here?
Wasn't there something with? Oh no, that was a specific talent. Yeah, you could just use that and another momentum to create an advantage somehow, or you could just let it poof.
Mechanically, this might not be necessary, but I would like to be able to immediately after they fire have Maldon make another maneuver.
Yes, for that and one more, you could do a swift task real quick.
Okay. Well, I want this specifically after they fire because the defensive flying gives us a minus. After they fire, that is when I want to use up to be able to then do an attack maneuver to make it easier for us to fire. If that makes sense.
Okay. I'll say a advantage that you have that keyed up, so your next maneuver is at -1 diff for you.
Okay.
You have the macro ready.
Perfect.
All right, it is now bad guy's turn. I already fired. I don't have a second attack at console, so. And you are being really cheeky, so I want to move over here and do an attack pattern. See if I can count out your evasive pattern. Or would I want to do that? Yeah, let's do that. We're Nausicaan, we're kind of silly. So this is structure or con. I am not gonna bother spending any dice on this. Wolf. Yeah, they messed up and they actually exposed themselves, so it's +1 diff to hit them. Or -1 diff to hit them.
Well, actually, it's a -1 diff to hit both ships when they succeed, anyways.
Yeah.
But,
he doesn't get the buff, but he gets a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm going with.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so I have all sorts of. All right. Okay. At this point, Svalinn, you recognize weapons fire are at long range. Yeah, long range.
Maldon, do you need assistance?
As long as no more show up, I think we'll probably be fine. Is this a fight that's pretty winnable for us here in the Delta Flyer with the attack wing?
If it was just the Delta Flyer by itself, it would be an uphill battle, but the fighter wing does help even the odds. This is a scale 3 vessel NPC, and you already got 1 breach on it, and it appears to be screwing itself up.
Okay. If they keep flying like that, this will be over quick for them. It's a single Nausicaan raider.
Hold on, check messages.
All right. With that, I'll guess we'll go to top of the round. I went. Yeah, unless Svalinn wants to do something, and we'll just say that you are setting this fight out, and we'll go top of the round, and the Sleipnir can go.
Do you want the Sleipnir to shoot again?
Not yet. Is Patterson gonna get a chance to do anything? Or is it just to?
If a player wants to use their turn to use Patterson for something, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking scan for weakness.
Patterson for scan for the weakness.
We could totally do that. That is diff. Why am I always messing up these? Scan for weakness is base difficulty 1. They're at meter range, base difficulty 2.
Buy 1 die with momentum. Sensor operation, focus. Not sure if this will do it, but we'll try it. That'll work. Gain 1.
Sensor science, Sleipnir. Gain 2. And with that we have our scan for weakness on here. Which nope, wrong button. I need these.
Next attack before sensor operator's next turn is a piercing 2. Bonus D20s purchased for the attack. Increased damage by challenge die east. Difficult +1 each range.
Okay, so they are affected by blinded, harder to aim out, and they have a target and scan for weakness.
Is it shooting time?
It is. So we've had 2 players. Air's gone. It is now bad guy's turn. Yeah.
So I am right. It is shooting time.
Just not your shooting time. They actually can't shoot yet, but I'm gonna try to regain some power. Or no, regen some shields, because that's the thing I need to do. Which
he's looking a little messed up right now.
Yeah, I don't want my shields to drop. That would be mucho bad day. Diff 1. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna roll this and see what happens. Got 1. Yeah, dude. You might have made some key mistakes. Mistakes were made. +2. +2 more for each. I'm gonna spend 1 to gain 2 more shields. Mistakes were made. Top of the round, everyone resets, and Sleipnir can go.
I recommend firing the photonic missiles.
All right. Let's get control. Security.
Doing a maneuver to engage precision targeting.
Okay. And what subsystem are you targeting?
Second verse, same as first, weapons.
All right. So, kind of in close range, and you're targeting a specific subsystem. So this normally go 4, but -1 hit because they mess up the maneuver. And
don't forget about precision targeting moves
the diff for or targeting a specific system. Yep. So you are looking at base difficulty 2. Good luck, buddy. Been nice knowing you.
Yeah, it's time to dump
I'm
everything we
reading?
got.
Okay. It doesn't reduce the difficulty. It just gives me the legal and the and 1 piercing.
Okay, so back up to diff 3.
Oh yeah. Wait, did we add piercing from the last attack?
Oh no, you didn't. But they have 3 resistance, so that would have just been one extra damage. It is now accounted for.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, 1 take a threat, and that's it. Could we roll that 0?
And then Svalinn is rolling weapons security.
So that's 1 momentum.
As photonic torpedoes away. Calder, if you would do the honors of rolling that damage. So 1, 2, 6. So we're looking at base damage 6 on that, and piercing. Oh, let me get on the right sheet. Piercing 4, so that is 6 damage altogether. Crunch. They now have 2 breaches.
Let's do the half damage thing with the 2 momentum and make that 3 breaches.
2 momentum. That was splash over. That is 3 breaches, and as you fire a flurry of photonic torpedoes, and crunch.
You gotta roll those breaches.
It's an NPC. It's an NPC ship, so it just has X number of breaches. And this is a really small ship, so it only has 3 breaches until crunch.
And it only has 3 of them. Well,
yep, you just burst through all 3 of them, so they explode into shiny confetti.
Ooh, it's shiny.
As the Sleipnir has finally earned her stripes and has drawn blood.
Stab!
I think this is the first actual combat at the Sleipnir's been in.
No.
No, it hasn't?
No.
Okay.
Because I remember when we chased down the 2 ships going 2 different directions.
Oh, yes, that was a thing. Yeah, the 2 fighter.
I mean, it wasn't really combat, more of us chasing.
Yeah, it was more of chasing them down because those were shuttles. But
this
But
is
it did
actual
involve
combat.
yeah, but the Sleipnir did chase someone down and kill them before. But this is the first time combat with the shuttle. Actually doing combat rules with the shuttle. But with that, you succeeded and you are safe. Hooray! And there was much rejoicing. Let's music, main theme, and there. It is at this time, I'm Captain. You actually you receive a hail from Admiral Nea. Calder.
Yes.
Yeah, you receive a hail from Admiral Nea.
On screen.
And I need to turn that off. She appears on screen and she is a bit frantic. USS Svalinn, I need to recall you. We have an urgent situation on Gamma Draconis.
What's the situation? I'll have my ship go to maximum warp.
Yeah, I'll brief you on the situation. Gamma Draconis has been in a state of minor civil war for the past 50 years. A long time ago, near the founding, they had this secession break, and they actually split into two cities living side by side to each other, and they've been mostly poking at each other with sticks. We just got word and verification that one side suddenly has a nuclear device, and they are angry enough to use it on one or the other.
I'm guessing with you calling us, I'm guessing someone's calling for Federation aid.
They are both calling in for Federation in aid. The problem is the nuke. We're getting vague radiation signals on the planet. We can't tell which side has the nuke, and both sides is accusing the other. And yeah, this could spill out into an all-out war in our backyard. And there is 100,000 lives on that planet at risk.
Okay.
They're Trump's pirates.
Unless you're in an immediate situation, and I'm recalling you to Gamma Draconis right away.
Although, before we leave, can you destroy that crybaby and see if we can position our drone over there, someplace where it can watch if it gets replaced and record if something comes by?
Absolutely. Right on it.
Yep. Actually, yeah, I'll just allow that for 2 momentum and to set up that advantage.
Yeah, pretty much the best way of doing this is to say we have a probe that's constantly broadcasting a feed to the ship somewhere, and when that feed is cut, we'll get notified when it does.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and
actually, I was thinking it could record and we could come back and get it and see what it saw.
Yeah,
I meant in case, so that way,
yeah, you can have a constant communication issue with it. There might be some lag, but it was constantly beaming information out, and the ship will automatically record that data.
Okay.
There might just be like a signal lag between you and the probe, depending on how far out you go. So you have an advantage, probe in the nebula. I should write these down on my sticky note. Target. Okay. With that, you recall all the small craft, bring them on board, and very, very quickly tear your way across space. Unfortunately distracted from the pirate base, but hopefully running off to prevent a civil war and possibly a nuclear war from breaking out. Until then, that shall be the end of our adventure tonight. Episode 48, The Invisible Hand. And there was much rejoicing. Yay. Also wanted to say on stream that today, it was actually last week, or kind of in between in the 2 weeks that was the first anniversary of this game. Actually, I've been in GMing this for one year. We've had a change of faces between now and then, but we've learned some new tricks. We've earned some new things, and plots have developed, and some good stories. And thank you guys for coming in, playing with me, and having fun in this crazy adventure that I've made, and the continuing adventures of the Silk Road and the 10th Expeditionary Fleet. And here's to another year.
Another year.
And with that, I'll sign off for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. I guess the hanging ink question is who do you think Ink will win in the Civil War, or side A or side B? Leave a comment down below. Until next time, all hands brace for impact.